Hey guys, welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video I'm going to touch on what exactly is the Zodiac strategy in Eversoul and how this can greatly impact your progression in Eversoul as well. Let's dive right in. So first things first, I'm currently on the Zodiac page. I would like to first give you guys a brief of what exactly Zodiac encompasses, right? For you guys that are absolute beginners. So if we were to click onto one of these Zodiacs, you can see there are different nodes, right, from start to finish. So to unlock the next node, you need to have all the linking nodes unlocked before you can unlock it, and then each of the single node is denoted by this point that you can have based on your level. So if you are at level 5, you have 5 points, level 100 you have 100 points, so very self-explanatory. And each node give individual buffs that add up together cumulatively, and also at the end of it, if you were to unlock the whole Zodiac page, right, you would get access to the Zodiac blessing. However, do take note that you can only activate one Zodiac blessing at all times, so it doesn't mean that if you were to unlock all these Zodiacs, right, you would have access to all the Zodiac blessings. No, you have to choose a single Zodiac blessing, which is why my guide here is going to touch on Zodiac blessing and as well as the nodes itself, right? So I'm sure at this point you're very interested in knowing what Zodiac you should invest in, right? So I'm just going to cut to the chase, right? First things first, I feel like the first Zodiac that people should always invest in is either the Cancel or the Aries. So one of those two, right? The Pisces is also pretty good. So respectively, the Pisces gives the gold, the Aries gives the mana crystal buff, and then the Cancel gives the mana dust buff. So why do I say that the Cancel is the one that I recommend first if you're an absolute beginner starting from scratch, right? You definitely want the mana dust first. In fact, I would say that it's very important because at the start of the game, the mana dust is one of the major walls, and I would say that even until this point, my mana dust resource is still not enough, despite the fact that I have a bigger wall, right? But mana dust is still a very prevalent wall as compared to like the gold itself. Even though I've been buying like mana crystals every single day, my gold is still adequately enough, and I still have a lot of like gold packs, so to speak, right? So yeah, I feel like the gold is not exactly a big massive problem as of now, this point, right, where I am. But maybe in the future it might be, but for you beginners, don't have to worry about that. Mana dust is your first priority, I think, and then subsequently, right, you would go into Aries. So there is a problem here that that I would suggest, or I would recommend, right, based on my suggestions. So if you were to go to Cancel first, right, meaning you can take a look at the notes here, it takes you 5, 10, 10 plus 5, so it's 30 skill points or 30 level points, right? So at level 30 you can fully unlock the Cancel. Aries also costs you 30 points, Pisces also costs you 30 points, so all of this costs you 30, 30, 30. At level 90 you can unlock every single thing. But if you guys want to go for Aries first, right, there is also a good reason why you want to go for Aries first. It's because you are not playing the game as actively. If you're not playing the game as actively, I do think that going Aries first is good. Why? Because you are going to have a lot of problems when it comes to mana dust. If you are pushing super actively at the start of the game, it's going to be a big problem. You are going to constantly need mana dust to progress, to level up your unit so that you can push the next hurdle, you can clear the next chapter, and then get even more passive rewards, right? That's the optimal way to play. But if you are a casual player, I do think that going the Aries is beneficial because in the long run, the mana crystals is going to be a big problem, and also because of the fact that, like I mentioned just now, there is going to be an active blessing that you can choose or have access to when it comes to maxing out this Zodiac page itself. So once you max out Cancel, you will select the Cancel's buff itself, the Zodiac blessing, right? However, for you to change the Zodiac blessing, right, look at this. I'm currently on Aries. If I want to change to Zodiac Cancel buff, I would have to spend 100 Everstones, right? So I mean, as minuscule as it might seem, right? So it's still a resource. So if you are thinking that you're a more casual player, I suggest that just go straight to the Aries. There's also one benefit that people might go for Aries for, and that is because the game forces you at the start of the game to pick or upgrade Aries, right? So you already have like the Aries Zodiac unlocked like 1/4 of the way, right? Maybe 1/6 of the way because you need 30 points. So yeah, 1/6 of the way. So if you go for Aries first, you can save 100 Everstones as well as saving the points, right? Because at level 30 straight away you can get the Aries buff unlock. Unlike the Cancel, you have to wait until level 35, given that you already spent 5 on the Aries. So it's really up to you. Personally, I would choose to go Cancel first. If I'm playing like optimally, if I restart the game, I'll choose to go Cancel first. subsequently go on Aries, and then later on you would go to Pisces, right? And the reason why I put so much emphasis on Aries is also because Mana Crystal is the ultimate resource, what I feel, just based off the information that we have, right? And to take a look at that, right, for you guys, we'll go onto the Prydwen website. Now onto the Prydwen website, this is the level requirements page whereby they document or have the data for every single resource that you need pertaining to leveling up your units, right? So from here, if we are talking about Aries, it's Mana Crystal. So you can take a look at this, right? Mana Crystals needed to reach level. So if you want to reach level 11, 10, 50, right? 41 is like 100, and then it escalates very, very fast. So 250, 500, 1,200, 3,000, 6,000, 12,000, right? And to go to level 181 and 201, it's 24,000 and 30,000 respectively. So you might not be able to visualize this, but if you look at the cumulative stats, right, you can see, right? So we all know that we need to have 5 units that we need to prioritize leveling, and so that we can have the level synced at the various levels, right? So we just take a look at cumulatively at level 161. So at level 161, if you want to have 5 units like level broken past level 161, all 5 of them at 161, you need 23,000 times 5. That is 115,000, right? If you look at 181, you need 235,000, and then subsequently it's almost 400,000 for you to hit level 201 on all 5 units. And for reference sake, we have to go back to my account, and on my account here you can see I have a total of 172,000 mana crystals. You might think that there's a lot, but think about it. I need 400,000 mana crystals to limit or to level all my units to level 201, right? I'm not even halfway there. I'm a day 1 player, and I've been consistently clearing dual gates 9 and dual gates 10, right? These days I've been clearing dual gates 10 every single day. So this is ridiculous when you think about it, right? I am not even halfway there to having all my units go to level 201. And of course you can add in the idle mana crystals, right? Add 10k here, you can add another like 2k here. So yeah, it's nowhere close. Let's be real. So that's the reason why I put so much emphasis on asking you guys to have the Aries Zodiac blessing, right? And up until now I'm still having the Aries Zodiac blessing, but you guys might be thinking, hey Cocky Gachas, you told me that cancel, I have to go for cancel first. The reason why I say cancel first is because honestly, even though Aries mana crystal, right, the mana crystal is the ultimate gate, right, in the early mid game you wouldn't feel it. In fact, for me, I have no need to open up any of my bags itself, right? The gate is going to suddenly like impose itself on you, right, once you reach level 181 and 201, and that is very far out. So going the cancel first is going to make your early game like progressing into the mid game very, very smooth, and it's going to have a lot more fun for you, and you are going to also be able to reap benefits of progressing faster, because if you progress faster, right, you also get AFK rewards faster, right? So I think that it's more optimal for you guys to go for cancel first. Now, of course, I cannot forget about the players that have passed this stage, right? So for instance, like me, I'm on level 113 right now, so definitely I've maxed out everything. So I've maxed out Aries, I maxed out Cancer, I maxed out Pisces. So what am I going for? You can see here, very obviously, I'm going for Aquarius. So the reason why I'm going for Aquarius is definitely just personal preference. I think that Intel units, right, the units that I have, like Talia that I use my ultimate for, Memphi that I usually borrow, stuff like that, these units, right, they are Intel units. So I'm going to invest in Intel, and then subsequently I would probably go into Dex because of Lindsay. If you guys are playing like an undead faction, you guys are having like a Velena plus undead team, right, then definitely go for the undead one. To be honest, I'm not really sure which one is the undead one. It might be the wait, where the hell is that? Yeah, Scorpio. So you can go for Scorpio first. This, after that, it's really subjected to your own preference and just tailor it to your own teams. There's no fixed answer right now. I don't think there's an optimal way to go about subsequently after the like Pisces, the mana resources one, Pisces, Aries, as well as Cancer. That one is set, and then after that it's really up to you guys. And also one thing, right, so if you have already screwed up the Zodiac, you went for the attack units or the attack buffs first, right, the attack Zodiacs first, you can reset it for 200 Everstones. It's not a lot, and in fact I would say that For myself, I might foresee if there's a content that need me to do a lot of damage, for instance guild boss, I might like weigh the benefits and reset my Zodiacs accordingly, but I do think that that is way too like min-maxy, so for now I'm not going to touch on that. But for whales itself, if you guys are interested, right, just reset. I think it's a huge benefit. If you just look at Ares itself, right, you can see this is crit damage plus 5% on all your souls. That's a lot of crit damage, like in grand perspective, right? In Eversoul, crit damage 5% is a lot, and then crit rate is also increased. It's going to increase to a decent amount, right? I think it's at least 5%. Yeah, 5%, and then 5%, probably 5% attack also. A lot of buffs, and then just imagine what you can do, right, with this additional buffs in a content that needs you to have to output damage. Of course, the idea is for you to reset, and then you reset back quickly, right, so that you get back all your benefits like as soon as possible, so that your resource side, you are not hampering it too much. And that what does it for this video on me touching on the Zodiac system in Eversoul and how you should go about leveling your Zodiacs for beginners and also endgame players alike. Now, if you've already known about this Zodiac system, right, maybe something that can entice you is the artifact, another very hot topic, right? So definitely check out this video over here where I rank every single artifact so that you know which artifacts are the most bang for your buck. I'll see you guys over there. This is Cocky Gachas, signing off.